practicing self-compassion. We can be so hard on ourselves. One of my mentors says if we talk to other people the way we often talk to ourselves, we'd all be in jail. Because we just wouldn't say those things out loud to other people. But boy, can we talk derogatively towards ourselves and just never feel like we've done enough, never feel like we've measured up, just feel like we're stupid. We just always make mistakes. And we need to silence that slave driving critic that lives inside of us, that speaks to us, that says, hey, it's no matter how much you've done, it's not enough. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough, fast enough, attractive enough, intelligent enough, rich enough, popular enough. Boy, that little voice can just babble away on the inside. And we need to silence that and realize that, hey, I'm on a journey. I'm never going to get there in this life. I'm on a growth journey. And I can be compassionate with myself and give myself some grace. Give myself a break. I wasn't born perfect. I'm not going to ever be perfect in this life, in my practice. I'm going to be constantly developing and growing, and I can just kind of sit back and take a deep breath and give myself a break and realize, hey, I'm human. I'm working through things. I'm learning things just like everybody else is. I'm doing the best I know how to, and stop comparing ourselves to everyone else and looking at them and judging myself, measuring by how much they have or what they look like or how much they make or what their position and title is. My goodness, thank heavens for variety. I'm a bird watcher. There's over 10,000 species of birds in the world. Wouldn't it be boring if there were only one type of bird in the world? Wouldn't it be boring if there was only one type of attractiveness in a person in the world? They all look the same. Oh, that's what beauty is. Oh, it's just this one thing. It's just this one gift. It's just this one position. It's just this one set of possessions. Wouldn't that be a horrible, boring life? We need to learn to appreciate where we're at, even as we're in the growth process towards becoming better. So we have to learn to be gentle with ourselves and compassionate, even when we make failures, even when we're learning. Because if we made a failure, we just didn't see something. We just didn't see what the good decision is, and now we're going to have a chance to learn something so we can make better decisions in the future. Right? I heard the story of a grandfather, and he had run a very successful company for many, many years, and he was retiring and handing it over to his grandson. And grandson was a little nervous, and on the day of the retirement ceremony, the grandson was in the grandfather's office, and he asked him, he said, Grandpa, he said, can I ask you a question? And Grandpa said, sure, what's on your mind? And he said, you've been so successful for all these years and run such a strong company. He said, how'd you do that? How were you so successful? The grandpa says, oh, well, that's easy. I can answer that in 2 words. Good decision. Grandson said, okay, thought about that for a minute, and he said, well, can I ask you one more question? Grandpa said, sure, go ahead. He said, well, how'd you learn to make good decisions? Grandpa smiled. He said, oh, I can answer that in 2 words also. Bad decisions. So the bad decisions are often the catalyst to us going, well, that didn't work out so well. How do I need to look at that and see that differently so I can make good decisions? So being gentle with ourselves and compassionate and giving ourselves a break, giving ourselves some grace, even when we make mistakes and we're in the learning process. That can really help us. So we need to learn to take time for ourselves. Everybody's in such a hurry. I get up very early in the morning these days, usually about 4 o'clock, just so I can have time to myself, so I can think, so I can reflect on the truth about who and whose I am, so that I can hear that still small voice of God assuring me of my value. And I hope that you can hear him assuring yours too. And letting you know that, hey, your value isn't based on anybody else's opinion, on any status, on any finances, on any education. It's not based on any of the stuff in this box. It's based on who I say you are, because I'm the one that made you. I'm the one that gave you those gifts. I'm the one that sees the value. I'm the one that loves you, even when it cost me dear. I'll never stop loving you. And that's where your real value comes from. And now, once you get a sense of that, now you can go out and start developing yourselves and making a big impact on the world around you. And then that just keeps increasing your value and increasing it. But it's never the basis for it. The basis is always the spiritual side, how God sees you, what you're worth to him, and what he gives over. So I hope this has been encouraging to you. I hope that you'll be able to implement these things and be able to develop a greater sense of practice of loving yourself, giving yourself a break, having grace with yourself. And I hope you'll be able to see from the big picture perspective and lose some of the messages that have come to you from within this box and see beyond the box, see big, broad, and wide of who and whose you are. I'm Jeff Byrd with Jeffrey Byrd Coaching. This is Empowered Living. Until next time, God bless you.